The movie starts with alien creatures called the Boov escaping their planet and arriving to hide on Earth. Telling the story is a Boov named O, who despite being friendly, struggles to make friends, due to the Boov lacking a concept of friendship. Whenever he attempts to converse with someone, they find him annoying and simply say, "Oh," which is how he gets his name. We are then introduced to Captain Smeg, the Boov captain, who believes he's the greatest and bravest Boov. The Boov admire him as a hero for consistently saving them with his escape plans. During meetings with another alien species called the Gorg, Captain Smeg introduces the Boov to humans, describing them as simple-minded and primitive creatures. He promises to relocate the humans to a different place and takes over the planet for the Boov to live in. He disables gravity to make it easier to transport them, and the Boov start flying their spaceship over the buildings, creating openings to capture the humans inside, successfully extracting all humans and gathering them in one location, forming a human city. The Boov then collect useful items while discarding unnecessary ones into the sky. And we see O, who is very happy and invites all his neighbors to a party at his house. But they tricked him, saying they would come. So O felt very happy and starts preparing his house for the party and cooks them a meal and brings them snacks and stands waiting for them. Then we see a girl named Teb waiting for her mother to return home. But she sees that the Boov has arrived and it becomes dangerous for her to stay at home. So she packs her things in her bag and is about to leave. But she sees her gift for her mother and decides to bring it. Then a Boov enters. But she has set a trap leading to many comedic situations. Eventually, she takes the gift, runs away, and gets into her car, deciding to search for her mother. And let's go back to O, who has been standing in the same position for 2 hours. And we see 2 of the guests seeing what O did at his door. So they try to return quietly so O doesn't hear them. But another guest comes, so O hears their voices and goes out to them. But he doesn't find anyone because they all ran away. This upsets O, and he walks away alone to see his only friend, Kyle. Kyle is a traffic cop, but he's also annoyed with O and tells him that he's not his friend and that he only talks to him because he can't move from his possession. But O sends him a message with his address so that when he's free, he can come. But O accidentally sends the message to all the extraterrestrial beings in the galaxy. Means the message will reach the Gorgs and they will be able to find them. The message takes 40 hours to reach the Gorgs, and during that time, all the Boovs become terrified and their colors turns yellow from fear. But their yellow color doesn't last long, as it turns red from their anger towards O for what he has done. O, being the only yellow one here, takes their spaceship and runs away, and asks the autopilot about the only place without any Boovs. And he finds out it's Antarctica. So the autopilot tracks him and drops him off because he's the runaway Boov and is prohibited from boarding any spaceship. And the Boovs are looking for him everywhere. So he runs and tries to hide from them. At the same time, Teb is driving in her car and she sees the Boovs everywhere, thinking they are looking for her to capture her. So she runs as well to hide from them. Then she crashed her car into a store. So she gets out of the car and enters the same store where O is at. They walk around in the store but don't see each other, except for the cat, who sees O, and when Teb goes to bring it, they both see each other. So Teb acts quickly and puts him in the refrigerator, and he keeps telling her to let him out, or he will shoot a laser from his eye. But his color turns green because he's lying, and Teb knows from his color that he's lying and can't do anything like that, and tells him that they kidnapped people and stole the planet. But O tells her that they didn't do that and that they're good. So Teb remembers the day her mother was kidnapped while she was giving her the Christmas gift. And suddenly, they fly away and the Boov enter Teb's house to take out the humans. But at that moment, the cat is on Teb's head and the machine recognizes that it's a cat and not a human. So the Boov doesn't take her. This is how we find out why Teb is the only one still with the Boovs. Then she looks at her mom's picture and tells O that they kidnapped her mom and walks away. So O tells her that he can fix her car, but she tells him she can fix it herself and leaves. And there is no minute and she enters again to O, so he can fix her car. Then we see the captain, who is very afraid, calling the genius Boovs to find a solution to the problem. So they start thinking, and each one comes up with a dumber solution than the other, until one genius comes up with a brilliant solution for them, to get in O's account and cancel the message. Of course, you see this as an obvious solution, and anyone can think of it. But for the Boovs, it's a stroke of genius, and not easy for anyone to think of, to the point that the captain steals the idea from the genius Boov. And they were simply setting all their passwords to the word password. I mean, it's extremely easy, right? But O doesn't have that password, so they don't know how to access his account and cancel the message. Then Captain Smeg sees O's message, which reveals that his friend Kyle will be attending the party, along with a detailed address from the galaxy to the sun to the planet. So the captain gets angry and calls Kyle and tells him that he's responsible for finding O and knowing his password. And let's go to O and Tip, who is furious at O after transforming her car into a mess and replaces gasoline with juices and messy things. Then they see the Boovs coming towards them. So Tip gets in the car, but she refuses to let O in with her and starts driving, but realizes that the car is flying and she can't control it. But she tries and manages to gain control over the car. Then O tells her that he knows how to find her mother, and that the information is in the command center in Paris. So Tip agrees, but on the condition that he promises her to find her mother. So he promises her and gets in the car and escape at the last moment. Then O activates the turbo and they escape from the booth. And O tries to change the destination on the GPS to Antarctica to escape from all the booths, but he doesn't know and ends up changing the face to Paris. Then he starts telling Tip the story of the Shusher, how one day the Gorg invited the Boov for peace, but Captain Smeg was scared and ran away with the Shusher. The Shusher got that name because whenever someone bothers Captain Smeg, he hits him with it and says, shush. Then we see Kyle looking for O and finding the juicy tick and sees him on the camera while he was escaping in the car. And let's go back to O and Tip. We'll see the Boov patrol, and O convinces Tip that they are looking for her, but in reality, they are after him. So they hide under the statue, which the Boov turned into a statue of Smeg. And every time O sees the images of himself scattered in the sky, he distracts Tip, so she doesn't notice, implanting the idea that they are looking for her. So she escapes from them, and we see Kyle following the juice that leaked from them. And here we see Tip went down to the gas station to use the bathroom. So O takes advantage of Tip's absence and gets in the car to escape to Antarctica. But Kyle comes to arrest him. But Tip saves him and throws a lot of boxes at Kyle. And she looks at him with a suspicious look because of what he did. But he tried to deny that he was going to leave her and escape. But his color turns green, so she knows that he was lying. So they start arguing, and the one who is in trouble is Kyle, as Tip slams the door in his face. Then they argue inside the car, pressing many buttons, ending up in a popcorn explosion that also hits Kyle. Then cheese comes out of nowhere, and of course, hitting Kyle. Eventually, the gas station exploded with Kyle as well. But O and Tip managed to escape, and after all this, Kyle still didn't get the password and returns defeated to the captain without O. So the captain silences him with the shusher, returning to O and Tip, who plays a song. So O starts dancing involuntarily and gets scared because the Boov doesn't know the dancing. So he jumps into the water to calm himself down. So Tip continues waiting for him, and the knife falls on her while she's watching a video of herself and her mother. Suddenly, O emerges from the water, startling Tip, who is upset with them for leaving her alone. So they talk for a bit, and we find out that the Boovs don't have families. And here, we know that there are only 16 hours left for the message to reach a Gorg. So Kyle suggests trying random letters and numbers as a password. Indeed, the brilliant Boovs start executing the plan. Now, back to Tip and O, who tells her about the message and everything, and that is wanted. He tells her that the Gorg destroyed their planet, so Tip gets scared that they might come to Earth, but O reassures her that indeed the smart Boovs have stopped the message, and they finally reaches Paris, but the Boovs are everywhere, and O is scared and wants to escape, saying that if anyone sees him, he'll definitely be arrested. So Tip puts makeup on him to change his appearance, and he becomes very happy when she does it, not believing that he looked like that. After that, they hide and board a plane, heading to the common center. O is surprised to find out that the message hasn't been disrupted yet, and only 2 seconds are left for it to be sent, and it needs a password to be disrupted. So he takes Tip and they enter one of the balloons, and wear a strange device on their heads that transports them to another location. Then O starts typing the password, stopping the message at the last second before reaching the gorge. Afterwards, he searches for Tip's mother and discovers that she's in Australia. Tip also catches sight of her and learns that she's searching for her as well, making her very happy. Then, they remove the device from their heads and return, with Tip embracing O and thanking him for everything he did for her. But it turns out that all the Boovs are surrounding them, and the captain arrives and tells him that the computer recognized him, and all the Boovs are surprised that it was O. And even after O fixes his mistake, the captain still wanted to arrest him, because he had made many mistakes before and couldn't guarantee he wouldn't make another one. But O assures him that he won't make any more mistakes. However, the captain doesn't agree, so Tip threatens to play with gravity, executing her threat by spinning the earth with them on it, and all the Boovs fall, except for Tip, who holds onto O. But O lets her go and takes the plane from Kyle. But Kyle had taken a plane from someone else. But of course, Kyle's luck is never that good. So the captain comes and takes the plane, leaving Kyle on the ground. And we see Tip driving the plane because O can't touch it. They run from the Boov, but they pass through a small opening, and the balloon bursts, and they glide off the evil tower, catching onto it at the last moment. Then Kyle finds a plane and chases after them, and Tip and O collide with the statues in the sky, causing some of them to fall. They land of course on Kyle, but Tip and O are lucky and grab onto an umbrella and land on a horse, and the evil tower is right behind them. So they ride the horse, which flies off and falls on Kyle to end the matter completely. And at that moment, the cat is sleeping in the car and has no idea what is happening outside. And let's go back to Tip and O, who managed to escape from the tower at the last moment, get into the car and drive away. And O turns blue from sadness because he doesn't want to be captured. He tells Tip that Captain Smeg was wrong and that humans are not enemies, and apologizes for the Boov invasion of Earth. And they embark on their journey to Australia, bonding as friends and mocking Captain Smeg along the way. They snap photos, and O begins to adopt more human-like traits. The following day, Tip awakens to finding themselves surrounded by Boovs. They attempt to conceal themselves, but the Boovs show no aggression, allowing them to flee. O realizes that their only reason for fleeing is the impending arrival of the Gorg. Yet, they fail to comprehend how the Gorg located them, despite the interrupted message. After that, the Gorg's vehicles appear everywhere and attack them. So O activates the weapon system, but unfortunately, it fails, and they fall from the car, losing all the juices. And the car stops, and O loses hope. But Tip sees the Gorg's fallen vehicle and suggests taking things from it to fix their car. O initially disagrees, but eventually agrees, and they go to the vehicle. Finding it was a self-driving vehicle, O calms down and begins to search for anything to help them, until they find an advanced chip, which is used by the Gorg in all their devices, making them stronger. O tells Tip that they need to find her mom quickly, because the Gorg's mothership is about to arrive and destroy the planet. So they go back to their car, put the ship in, and the car takes off at high speed. Finally, they arrive in Australia, and to the human city, where all the Boovs are fleeing. Of course, the humans are happy that the Boovs are leaving, but O realizes that there are only 3 spaceships left to take the Boovs out of Earth. So O becomes very afraid and gets out of the car and grabs Tip, running towards the last spaceship. He tells her that her mom is there and argues her to come with him, but his color turns green. So Tip gets very upset, telling him that she won't go without her mom. O explains that the mothership is coming to destroy the planet and she has to escape with him. But Tip tells him that humans can abandon their loved ones and run away, and that he's just a Boov who won't understand that, and he's not her friend, and walks away, leaving all with mixed emotions. But he runs and enters a spaceship at the last moment, escaping and leaving Tip behind. And we see the Gorg's mothership heading towards the Boos, with everyone running away, except for O, who runs and inserts the ship into the control unit, increasing their speed and allowing them to escape from the Gorg. His courage impresses everyone by being the only Boov running towards danger. He tells them that Captain Speck was wrong, and that humans are intelligent, brave, and care about each other, unlike Boovs, who only care about themselves. Kyle then suggests that O should be the new captain, but O refuses because of his past mistakes. However, Kyle admits that he also made mistakes by not standing by O, and take the shusher from Captain Speck, hitting him with it and giving it to O, declaring him their new captain. Meanwhile, Tip is searching for her mom and asking people about her, until her phone's battery runs out and her mom's image disappears. So, she loses hope and starts crying. At the same time, O is thinking about her and becomes so upset that he cries for the first time. So, he goes back to Tip, who is overjoyed to see him, and he tells her that he promised to find her mom. He then gives her a device that can locate her mom. Tip can't believe it and walks with O until they finally find her mom. They hug each other and the cat joins their happiness. Then, she introduces her mom to O and tells her that he's the one who helped her, so her mom thanks him. O then realizes that the Gorg is searching for the shusher, and suddenly the mothership arrives to destroy the planet. O looks Tip and her mother in the car, and decides to go alone to deliver the shusher to the Gorg. Tip says that she will come with them, but O uses the gravity device to fly up the car. Then he tries to get the Gorg's attention to show them the shusher, but they don't notice him. So Tip gives her gift to her mother, and when she opens it, it turns out to be a mirror. So Tip takes it and uses it to make the Gorg see O. Indeed, they spot him, and they stop the spaceship from destroying the planet. However, the ship is not stopping at the right moment, and O gets stuck inside and can't figure out how to get out. So Tip and her mother get out of the car, and Tip runs to catch O, who looks at her, says goodbye, and hands her the shusher. Then the ship lands on him, and everyone witnesses what happens, and Tip continues crying, while her mother comforts her. The ship then returns to its original position, revealing that O is still alive because there was a gap inside. So Tip runs to him and hugs him. Here we see the Gorgs coming down, and it turns out all this disturbance was caused by a tiny creature wearing a bulky mech suit, and O hands it the shusher. The Gorg opens it, revealing that the shusher contains all the future generation of the Gorg. So the Gorg thanks O and leaves. Tip then asks O about what happened, and he explains that this Gorg was the last one, and he was searching for the shusher containing all the Gorg's future generations, and that he found them through the shusher and not from his message. Then all the heroes greet them, and O becomes very happy. And after 2 weeks, the planet returns to normal, and O finally makes the party he wanted, attended by both Boos and humans, with O and Tip playing music, making jokes about the Boos, and everyone is happy, dancing, even Captain Speck with the Boos on the moon, and the Gorg and other alien creatures come to attend the party. And that's how the movie ends. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for the next movie.